Hello, everyone. Sorry, I'm just getting my camera done and I will be in view. There we go. All right. So, hello, my name is Arthur Govin. I am the partnership coordinator at the Next Street Driving School. I'm here today to do a career presentation. So, we're going to talk to some of our instructors today, and you can get an idea of what it's like to be an instructor. We are currently hiring and we are looking for people, and I think that this will be a really good representation of what it's like to actually be an instructor, because a lot of people don't really know what a driving instructor does. They're thinking of their gym teacher when they were growing up that taught them how to drive, and things are definitely a lot different now, and we have a wide range of people from all different walks of life and all different ages that come on and are driving instructors. So we're going to talk about that today, and without further ado, we're actually going to first bring on our director of the Peoples Department, Kathy. And Kathy, if you could just introduce yourself and talk a little bit about what the position is.
Sure. Well, it's great to get to see everyone. As Arthur had mentioned, my name is Kathy Wolkner, and I head up the People, Heart, and Pulse department here at the Next Street. And we're definitely hiring for our driving instructor role. We have so many fantastic people who are currently driving instructors with us, but we're growing. And so that's why we're looking for more people. So the role itself, it has a lot of great components to it. You're working one-on-one with students. It's really rewarding. And I think that as you talk with the other folks and get a chance to hear from other people's perspective who are driving instructors, you'll see just how interesting and exciting a role it is and very rewarding. Some of the things that are required, I can kind of talk about now, if that's what you'd like, Arthur.
Yeah, please. Go ahead.
Great. So some of the qualifications for the role are that you have at least a high school diploma or a GED. And of course, if you've got some college work, that's fantastic too. If you've got a degree, that's fine too. In addition to that, you need to be at least 21 years old, and you need to have had your driver's license for at least 4 years. Now that's here in the state of Connecticut. If you're looking for a role with our company in the state of Massachusetts, you would actually just need to have your driver's license for 2 years. it's funny, different states have different requirements. So that's kind of what we're looking for at the moment as far as qualifications go. There are a few things also that you'll notice through the hiring process. Requirements of the DMV indicate that we have to send folks through for a DCF background check. In addition to that, we do a drug screen that's pre-employment. And that drug screen does include testing for marijuana. I've had some folks ask me about medicinal marijuana use and recreational use. Since we do kind of go through the DOT, which is a federal agency, there's no allowance for any kind of marijuana use. So whether it be recreational or medical use, unfortunately, that would disqualify you for the driving instructor role. That being said, in addition to that DCF background check and the pre-employment drug screen, there's also a DMV, or in Massachusetts, an RMV records check. So those are just some of the qualifications that you would need to kind of make sure that you check off those boxes for. In addition to that, one of the things that I love to tell people is that for this role, in order to qualify to be a driving instructor, you must be nice. That is a qualification for any role at the Next Street. So that's another thing that I like to tell folks about.
So if you could just talk a little bit about some of what we're offering, what the position looks like, time-wise and, training, all that stuff. If you could just get into that a little bit, that'd be great.
Sure, of course. So as far as timing goes, we're hiring right now. And we are looking for folks to start in our September 20th class if they're available. If not, then we do start approximately every 2 weeks. So there may be a class starting 2 weeks after September 20th. As far as training goes, it's a fantastic training program. You start off day one, it's via Zoom, and it's about a 5 or 6 week training program on Zoom. You are working with other licensed master driving instructors who are fantastic teachers, very engaging and interesting. So you'll go through that 5 or 6 week process of training. And then at the end of that Zoom training, then you'll also come on site. And what happens is when you come on site, you're going to be learning some of those maneuvers that you need to be able to do, like special, parallel parking and backing in and out of a spot, just making sure that you're consistent with our teaching curriculum. So you'll learn all of that on site. And then after you go through that process of your Zoom training and the on-site training, you'll also go through a DMV testing process. And that's both on, the testing process for the DMV is both written and driving, and it's also on-site in our Middlebury location. So it's really interesting. It's almost like going through and getting your license again. Yeah. But of course, we make sure you're well prepared. So no worries with that. We have a very high pass rate as well because our master instructors are so just in tune and well trained for teaching other driving instructors. So that's typically the timeline for that licensing process. Then once you do get your driving instructor role, or your driving instructor license, I should say, then you're able to move to that driving instructor role where you're actually one-on-one teaching with the students. And as I had mentioned, that's super rewarding and a lot of fun too.
That's amazing. And Kathy, I don't want to look over what you do here because, a lot of your position, a lot of companies, it's called HR, but we kind of talk about it in a little bit of a different way. So if you could just talk about why is it the Peoples Department instead of, HR and that way and kind of how it's a little bit different from other places.
Sure. So HR kind of has a bad rap. And what we want for people to understand is here at the Next Street, we not only say, but we truly follow by acting. We are different. And from my perspective, the People Department, we are here for our people. We're here to help you. We're here to guide you. And we're here to just make sure that your experience is the best that it can be. We have a lot of great things to offer as a company. We've got fantastic benefits. We have medical, dental, and vision benefits. We also have a 401k employer matching program. We have an EAP program. It's an employee assistance program, and that's for folks that may be going through a little bit of a rough patch, and it's free counseling. So there's a lot of really fantastic things that we have. Also, we've got a lot of paid sick leave that you can accumulate. And in addition to that, we have paid holidays. We've got 8 of those throughout the year. We just added 2 last year. So we're always really looking at adding things in that are going to be of value for our employees. And we truly do, like I had said, we match our actions to our words, and we truly do try to do our best for our employees.
Thank you so much, Kathy. And you'll stick around, but I'll have you on at the end, and we'll go through some of those things again. But really appreciate you coming on here, and we're gonna bring on the instructors for today. So thank you so much, Kathy.
Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for having me on, Arthur. Really appreciate it. And I'll tell you what, you guys are going to have such a blast talking with our driving instructors. They are so awesome. I can't wait for you guys to see them.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks. Yep. Bye.
All right. If you all want to come on now, and I will put you in the right positions. Perfect. Okay. And let me just adjust this really quickly. So Opal, actually, because you're perfectly in frame. So if you want to start and kind of introduce yourself, talk about how long you've been here, and I'll get everyone else set quickly.
Hi, my name is Opal Lamb. I'm a master instructor for the Next Street. I've been working with the Next Street for 5+ years, almost 5.5. I started off in 2016 working out of the Watertown location. Then I became owner of the Naugatuck location. But because of COVID, I currently teach classes at home. Right here, this is my office. And I also work at the headquarters with the new hired instructors to make sure that they get ready for their proficiency tests with the DMV to go forward and become permanent hires for the Next Street to go forward and teach the students in the car.
Perfect. And then, okay, just 1 second. And then Tocham, if you could just talk a little bit about yourself, how long you've been here, and what you do here.
Okay, so hi, my name is Tocham Allen. I'm one of the instructors at the Next Street. I've been here going on almost a year now. Next month I'll make a complete year.
It's crazy.
So I work out of the Watertown location. But so far, I haven't really done much yet. I've gotten into the on-call position, so I pretty much see all the locations around Connecticut, doing behind the wheel lessons, doing the back ends on the right and left, as well as pulling on the right and left.
Yep.
3-point turns, parallel parking, getting them comfortable on the road.
Perfect. And then Rebecca, if you want to just talk about yourself a little bit, and then we'll get into the discussion a little.
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Rebecca Wood. Most people call me Becky, Becca, Rebecca, nothing worse than that. And I am both a driving instructor and a classroom instructor. I'm a certified teacher as well. And so I just love doing this. And one of the things that I really like about working at the Next Street and teaching students is that they have such an invested interest in it. And they are nervous, but excited. And teaching them is a really upbeat experience. I more often than not, I am working out of the Westport location, but I also work out of Monroe. But for the most part, I work out of Westport. Now that we are in COVID land, then I am like so many others, whenever my teaching is required, and that is every day, 6 days a week, then I do it online and try and make it as humorous and inventive as possible, because everyone gets weary with remote.
Yeah, for sure. So actually, you kind of touched on it a little bit, but if you want to talk about, so I think one of the biggest fears that a lot of people have when they are thinking about becoming an instructor or just see a job listing or anything is working with teenagers and especially inexperienced drivers, but really just the thought of working with teenagers, people get a little bit intimidated by because when they think teenagers, they're thinking, that they're going to be
Attitude.
annoying, attitude, they're not going to listen to
Yeah,
you.
absolutely.
So yeah, if you just take it, all you can talk a little bit about that, about how that's totally not the case. And
Can I start
yeah,
that one?
Opal, yeah, please start.
The
Yeah.
adults are worse.
We
Right.
can all go in on this, can't we, guys?
Yeah.
We can all go in on this. Yes.
Yes.
The adults are the worst. The teenagers, Richard. It's the adults. It's the grown folks. They're so scary.
Yeah.
And they break and they snatch the wheel and they apologize profusely. The kids are
Opal.
listen. The kids are energetic, they're excited, and they're nervous, but they're a little bit more willing to get on board with what you're talking about. And the grown folks, you have to try to detox them from the things that they've learned from other people at home, and they're not so willing. So they're a little bit more like, and sitting there looking at them going, listen.
Yeah.
I agree with.
I help you out right now.
It's funny. It's funny because yeah, the teenagers, the facade of kind of, the whatever they're doing at school, like it all gets stripped away when they're learning how to drive because they're nervous. They want to learn, a lot of them are really eager to get it. So you're not dealing with the attitude. You're dealing with just, you actually get to see who they are, and
Exactly.
it's really interesting and great.
Opal, you've been here longer than I have. I've been here 3+ years.
Yeah.
But for me, I have had so many students, and in areas where people are like, oh, you're really going to get in trouble. You're going to hear it. I never hear it. I never hear it.
No.
I mean, no, I can honestly say I don't. I never have. I really have had a great experience. The students really want to achieve this goal.
Mm-hmm.
And the parents really want them to achieve this goal. Everybody's scared, but that's normal. But the bottom line is they really do. And it just strips away anything else that they might have worn before. When they're with you, it just becomes the most comfortable experience ever. In fact, very comfortable. And so you end up with relationships, you end up with people who connect with you, trust you, and you get a true sense of achievement and helping them achieve their next goal.
Yeah.
I think that's a very fulfilling thing for me.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I like that.
Tocham, go ahead. Yeah.
I like the aspect of getting someone for their first lesson all the way up until their fourth and seeing the growth behind the wheel, that they get the confidence that they get throughout the lesson, seeing them get better at doing their parking maneuvers is so amazing. They get so excited as soon as they start getting it one after another.
Yeah. And are you so connected with them?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're so connected.
I kind of took from how Opal taught us in the instructor training, and I kind of put that into my own and started doing it my own way, which helped out a lot, bringing that excitement in there, building up their confidence is actually really amazing.
And can I add, for a lot of people just say, oh, you're just teaching people how to drive. To me, it's so much bigger than that. When the kids come into the car, and even the adults, there's a lack of confidence in there. There's a lack of, oh, I don't think I can do this. Like that thought is in their head. I don't think I can do this. And we find ourselves being like mentors and coaches, and I don't know how many times I've had to walk somebody through, you can do this. You can, even the instructors that come in for training, having to tell them when they start learning that driving is so technical and that it has so many different parts to it. And I just went off and got my license. I never knew that it was all of this. And they start feeling like, I don't know if I can do this. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You've already been doing it. Now you just have to take it into another level and break it down to the studs for somebody else. Like we're breaking it down for you, and then we build back up that platform so that you can walk in it. So the same thing we do for the students, we do it for the instructors. And it is so rewarding. And I'm 49 years old. So when the kids come in, they're like my kids, and I walk them through and I talk to them the same way I would my own children, and the instructors, I'm going at y'all like you're my brothers and my sisters. I want you to succeed. So everybody can come in and do this job. It's just, don't come in feeling like, oh, it's just a paycheck. I'm just here to make a paycheck. Then you in the wrong business, because
you have to love your job. You have to love to want to come here every day.
Exactly. I couldn't agree more. It is so much. If you are just here for a paycheck,
wrong business.
It's not the right fit, because you give so much of yourself. You get connected with everybody. You show your authentic self and they show theirs. It's a two-way street, and you build trust because it's a big deal, and you develop a relationship. It's not just a job.
And the trust factor goes beyond the kids.
Yes, it does.
Parents. If the parents trust you.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that like? Because building a relationship with the parents and having them on the same page as you, how is that? How do you balance that when you're an instructor?
You gotta, if you're a parent already, like I am, you already know what their fears are.
Yeah.
You already know what their concerns are. You already know what they're up against. And, they want to help their student get to the next level, but they're scared to let their kids drive their cars. So we have to sometimes coach the parents on, what do you do when you're at home? How do you proceed with your student in the car when they're with you and you don't have that break on your side, and just trying to help them know that they can do this too. You just have to be able to stay ahead of your kid in the car. So having the conversations with the parents, letting them know the do's and the don'ts, and how to proceed is so important. But it's also your mannerisms, it's your tone, it's how you approach their students. And if the students feel comfortable with you, then the parents tend to feel comfortable with you. If the kids like you, the parents love you. And that's just the way it is.
And
Absolutely.
Yeah, go ahead, Tocham, if you had anything to add.
So that's why the first thing I always do, I ask the parent how are the students as far as them driving. Do they have heavy foot? I try to get everything out on the table so I can help them from there on out. Then once I get in the car with them, the first thing I ask the student, I say, hey, just calm down. Do you have any hobbies? Do you play any sports? A little icebreaker just to get their nerves a little calmed down. And then I go to the lesson from there.
Yeah, I do the same thing. And, that's a fine line, but I'd rather develop an authentic relationship than a fake one. And so for me, because it's a big deal, I do the same thing. And I always develop a relationship, and I develop a relationship with the parents, and it's different than the relationship with the student. So a lot of times, all families are different. So a lot of times it is a conversation with the parent. And then when the parents leave, then it's a different conversation with the student. And you end up being kind of the repository for all this information and making sense out of it and making it work. And I'll have parents say to me, Becky, here's the deal. I'm not going to be doing highway with them. I'm not going to do lane change.
Yeah.
I'm not doing parking. Once you do it, then you know what? Okay, good. I'll do it. But I'm not doing it until you do it.
Right.
And so I go, okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
And so for me, it is just relaxed, comfortable, honest conversations. And my phone gets blown up. It's okay. But it eases everyone's anxiety and it moves them forward.
So
It was
we've
absolutely.
yeah. So we've talked a lot about, building relationships with the students and the parents and everything. So that's kind of what you do for your work. But what is it like working within the company? Tell us about your manager and the culture around and everything. And yeah, if Opal, you want to start
You
just
know I
talking
do.
about.
Stop playing with me, Arthur.
Oh yeah, no, I know. So yeah, if you want to just talk a little bit about the culture and leadership and everything.
Listen, and in all honesty, I just had this conversation with Brandon Dufour, the CEO of the company.
Oh,
And
I was gonna ask about Brandon. Don't worry. So
oh yeah,
he's coming up.
and we Brandon is so approachable. There's no time that I see him that we can't, first of all, he wants to fist dab me, calls me Opal. He never calls me. And so we were having a conversation, and I said to him, I said, I'm not going to lie to you. When I first came in here 5 years ago, I thought this place, these people couldn't possibly be this happy. So I walked around for the first month or two looking at everybody like they were suspect.
Yeah.
Like I was expecting something to happen. Like y'all could not possibly be
when are the
but...
cracks gonna show?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I know. And so 5+ years later, they're still consistent. They are exactly the way they were when I came in. This is the best place, and I can say that in all honesty. This is the best place I've ever worked. That I can come here and be myself, and it's okay. And that's a lot for me to be myself. Oh, that's a lot. And I'm not being micromanaged because they trust me to do my job and to do it well. And they give you the platform to go off and just be awesome, like the best version of yourself. And anyone that I need to talk to, anytime I need to talk to, from the CEO to the director of operations, Eric Parks, to Mike Santoro, who is my mentor and my coach,
Yeah.
I can just go and say, listen, this is what it is. Let's sit down and powwow. And few and far in between do they ever see me in a bad mood when I come in through there. I've learned that the next street is my happy place sometimes. If things are going crazy in your own personal life, once I get to work, I'm good. And I can actually just go forward and forget about that and pick it up later on when I go back home. But it's been consistent, and it's so rewarding. And I don't know about y'all, Tocham and Rebecca, but it's a place that I don't see myself leaving anytime soon. Like, I just want to continue to grow and grow and grow and learn as much as I can and just make this my permanent home if I can.
Mm-hmm.
This is my place.
I
found my happy place.
Tocham, if you want to talk a little, because you've been here like less time. I've been here for 4 years. Opal's been here for 5. Becky's you've been here for 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, almost.
And so you've been here a year, which is definitely a lot shorter. So what is it like? Because you came in during COVID too, so it's definitely a different feeling. There's a lot of different protocols, all that stuff. So if you could talk a little bit about that and what it's like.
I like the team aspect of everything. I like that I can go to any one of the instructors and ask them if I need help with something or how to do something. Opal, for example, when I first got the job, she broke down literally everything to me. I was having a little hard time. She broke down everything. My godmother actually passed away during COVID. One of the first people to contact me was Brandon. So I thought that was really, really nice. It actually made me feel at home within the job, that actually someone out there actually cared about what was going on with me as well. So it's a pretty good thing. I would never want to leave the job. This is probably one of the best jobs I've ever had in my life. Everyone within the company is amazing. Everyone's always happy, chipper. So it's good for me. I like this. I want to make this a home and grow from here.
That's great. And Becky, if you want to kind of put a pin in this topic, and then
how can I put a pin in that?
Yeah, I know.
Come on, how can I put a pin in that? No, it's true. It's true. I mean, I was in corporate America, and I've been in both public and private educational systems, and
so you've seen it,
I've had a lot of experience with systems and people, and how the way things work. And one of the things that I have found to be true is that, for better or for worse, everyone within the Next Street structure is authentic. They are who they are, and everyone sees them for who they are, and they don't kind of go, "What?" They just go, "Okay," and carry on. And because we're this jumbo box of Crayola crayons, it is.
That's a great way to describe it. Yeah.
Every different shades, different colors, and it it's all, we're all crayons, but it's that we each have our own hue, and so based on that, everyone accepts that, and you don't feel like an oddball being yourself. You would feel like an oddball here if you were being, really close.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you are yourself and being your authentic self here, the more comfortable you're going to be.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Which is rare.
Absolutely. And I've discovered, like the language that the Next Street uses as a standard for how we operate as a company, they literally walk in that. They walk in that. And when people come in like new hires and they start to go against the grain, Next Street's gonna give you a chance to straighten up and get it together. But if you can't, then you got to go, because you no longer fit the bill. Like you making things worse for the whole company as a platform, and we just can't have that, But they try to work with you before they would finally just decide that, okay, this isn't working, And some people know coming in through the door. They know coming in through the door that this probably won't work for them, because they, like me, are kind of suspect. They start looking at people like, you can't be
this
real.
can't be true.
And then they feel like
the other shoe is
then
gonna
they
drop.
remove themselves, which is good. Remove yourself so we don't have to.
Right.
But it's not like it's a cult. Yeah. They literally hire nice people.
That's it.
They really do.
Come in and then train them to go forward and be great. And that's it. That's why Next Street works. It just works. And it's amazing. I think a lot of people need to adopt that in their companies and go forward and allow people to float the way that they are, just be natural and not feel like I have to be molded to be a certain kind of way. Just teach me what I need to do and how to go forward and do it. And I'll take it from here.
Yeah.
And the only other thing I want to add to that is, they don't mold, but they encourage everyone. If there is a mold or an encouragement, I think that I feel from the Next Street, it is that they want you to become you.
Excellent.
And they don't want you to feel like you have to fit into some other role. So if there is anything like that, I think people who are used to fitting into that role, fitting into that box, they're gonna have to take a deep breath, because they can really be who they are.
Yeah.
I like that when you drive past another Next Street car, the instructor's in there like this.
Oh yeah. No, that's a big deal. It's a big deal.
And let me wave at you, and you don't wave back. I'm gonna take a look at the number.
Yeah. You're getting the plate.
You didn't wave at me. I saw you. Sometimes I have to remember that I'm not in the Next Street car when I'm waving at somebody. That's probably why they didn't wave back, because I was in my own personal vehicle. I be catching feelings like, what? You didn't wave. Never mind.
That's happened to me a couple times.
So, next thing, and we've talked about it a little bit, but what kind of drew you to the lifestyle of being an instructor? Because again, all three of you from completely different, you had different jobs beforehand. Everything was, none of you are the same. No instructor comes from the same mold. What drew you to being like, other than the culture, what about being an instructor was just like, all right, this kind of works for me, and Tocham, if you could start this, that'd be great.
Absolutely. So what brought me into being an instructor, I always had someone pushing me to do better. I was born with cerebral palsy, so someone pushing me. I wanted to be in that leadership role for me to push somebody to build their confidence. I had me and my brother actually got our CDL, and I like being behind the wheel, and I like being a teacher at the same time. So I kind of figured I'd put 2 and 2 together. Kind of feel like that would be a good role for me.
And it just fit.
It just fit. It just worked. I'm really good at communicating with people, talking to people, teaching people. So it's letting me be my authentic self. Showing somebody what to do is actually pretty cool.
And how is it, you know, fit like schedule wise? What do you like about the schedule of being an instructor? You know, what about the day to day is something that appeals to you?
So I love how it's a set schedule. I get my time off that I need off. The schedule works wonderful. It actually worked around my schedule that I needed for school, so it was actually pretty cool. They're really outgoing, and they actually communicate. They asked me when I got hired, what days would you prefer off? You get a Saturday or a Sunday? And I'm like, I gotta keep Sunday off for my football.
Oh yeah,
so
that was my. That's how I.
I'd rather keep Sunday off. So the Monday through Thursday thing was actually really, really neat. So it wasn't bad at all. I liked it a lot.
That and Becky, if you want to go.
Sorry about that. I can't really hear. Sorry about that.
No, that's okay. It's okay. Becky, if you want to talk a little bit about, you know, why are you still here after all this time? You know, what kept you here?
Oh, it's the money.
Yeah, right.
It's the money. Just gobs it. When it comes down to it, I was a teacher during the day.
Yeah. So it
in
fit.
Classroom, and so it was an insane schedule, to be honest with you.
Of course.
But my good friend and coworker Lisa Gilmore is also an instructor, both Zoom and Street, and it was like a summer. It was the end of the school year. We have summer, and we were just BSing, and I said, well, so what are you gonna do? She's, well, I didn't even know this. She told me what she did, and she said, I think you'd be great. And I said, really? Because I really haven't laid any plans for the summer years ago. And it's like pre-COVID. And okay. So I went in, talked to Bob Waters, chatted, and said, I think this could work. And for me, I've always been an educator in my spirit. I just love anything along that line and just having a good time doing it. And so it was a marvelous fit. And I went from there, and it just took off for me. And regarding schedule, I'll give you an example. Probably about a month, maybe, I don't know, I lose track of time on Zoom, but maybe 2 weeks ago, I don't know, end of August, Brandon contacted me, owner of the company, and said, just want to talk to you. What do you want to do for the autumn? What do you want to do? And I said, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that. He reached out to me in terms of what would work for me, what's going to work for me. Would I want this or would I want that? How about this or that? I don't know any other company who does that. I don't know any other role, certainly not corporate, certainly not the public or private school system. I have never experienced that before.
Yeah, I don't think many have.
The CEO is contacting you, wanting to know what you're.
Yes, we're on Zoom. He's sitting in his car. We're in Zoom, and he's talking with me about what I want to do and what I think. And I'm like, well, let me say. And it's like, you know, and
he actually wants to know. Like he's not just kind of, you know, blowing smoke.
No, it's not just airplay. If he's going to ask, it's not just words.
Yeah.
He's asking me because he wants to know what I think. He's not going to ask me for airplay and then just let it go. He said he wants to build it in, and guess what? He gave me what I wanted.
Yeah. Opal, if you want to finish us off, what drew you to this? Why? We kind of know why you're still here, but
Arthur, no, you don't.
Yeah, but maybe we don't. So let's hear it.
I've always wanted to teach. I just, as a single parent, I didn't have the time to go sit in classrooms. I did go to college for, a couple of years and stuff, but I didn't have time to go forward and go and get the teaching degrees and all that stuff. I had to grind. I had to work. I had to hustle to, take care of my kids. And so I was working in a group home in a couple of places at the same time, just trying to make ends meet. When Audrey Gay from the next street, we go to church together, and she said the next street is hiring for driving instructors, and she was like, "Are you interested?" And I wanted out of the group homes, so I just gave her my resume. She turned it in for me, and then Brandon Dufour called me and asked me if I can come in for an interview, and I did. And he told me he'll let me know in about a week or two. He actually called me back the same day by 3:30 and let me know that I had the job if I was still interested. And then that was it for me, just knowing that I can teach and that I can coach and I can mentor everything that I believe in doing to try to help people get to the next level. You're giving me the platform to do that. And I get to take kids out in the car. And then now the longer that I've been there, when I first came in and I found out that you could be a master instructor, where you go from really teaching the kids to teaching the adults who want to be hired as instructors at the next street, to get at them before I can get them to the kids. That's really what I wanted to do, to make sure that we can change the way people approach driving and the way that they teach it. So for me, that was just the icing on the cake. I'm not going anywhere. And I just received my master instructor license this weekend.
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Congratulations,
That's
Opal.
amazing. Yep. I have
so
it on your
excited.
on your
That's
nameplate.
major.
Your nameplate is Opal
Major.
Lamb, master instructor. So
You see that down there at the office?
That is major.
yeah, no. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
I was excited, and that's really why I stuck around, because I had a goal in mind. Yeah. It was something that I wanted to do, and I'm passionate about it. And Next Street has never not allowed me to be in a position to coach and to mentor. I was team captain, and I had several instructors under, my mentoring and my coaching, and we would have meetings, and I kind of miss those things. We get together and we would talk and we powwow, and then we would problem solve. And so that everyone knew that they weren't alone, because once you train them, sometimes you don't see them. And you want to know, how my little birds doing? How y'all flying in this company? How you doing?
Yeah.
And every time I run into Tocham, you be bothering me, bro. I'm gonna need you to stop. Every time he sees me,
You're so amazing.
He always says, "Opal, thank you so much. Thank you so much for how you helped me and stuff." And I'm just, that's awesome. And I love that I can get that kind of feedback. And I just want to put out more people like him so they can go forward and be awesome. So that's why I'm here. That's why I said, you don't know why I'm here.
No,
wait a minute. Can I add to that?
Please.
Sometimes people do things like that because it's part of their job description. Or they do things like that because they want to get airplay, they want to be seen. But then there are people who do that because it's part of their nature.
It's in you.
And there's such a massive difference when it's coming from a place of heart, and it's who it is as part of who you are, your authentic self, and you really do want to see people achieve. You want to see them move to the next level. It feels almost better for you or equal for you than it does for them. And so I think that that's a real major difference. It's not just, I want to achieve this in terms of job stature. I want to achieve this because that's who I am.
And there's no competition amongst us,
No.
It's
no.
I remember TJ, you came in through training with a certain somebody. I ain't gonna say no names, but he said to me in training, I'm gunning for you, Opal. I'm gonna take your job. You know, he's like, I'm gonna be better than you. And I told him, because he was a little arrogant, even on your best day, you would never be better than me. And I'm not saying that to be funny, but you need to be humble, because people who are humble are willing to learn. And if you're willing to learn, then you're willing to grow. And growth does not come with, I know everything, let me go ahead and take over your spot. No, I'm always looking to learn. How can I be better today than I was yesterday? And then how can I take that and feed that into the new instructors and every single student that I teach online or in the car? And that's really where it's at for me with this job. It's not about the pay. Because I mean, the pay when I first started, it was like, you know, but
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
so
No,
more than that. At the end of the day, it was like, I don't care. I'm going to walk in this. I'm going to work it until I don't feel like this is what I want to do anymore. And for me, 5.5 years in, I just don't see me going anywhere. I just don't. I love my job.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to end this on. Thank you all so much for coming out and just talking, because this is you know, again, and you might watch this and think the same thing that we all thought at the beginning, where it's like, you know, when does this wear off, you know, but this is really how it is. And I just can't wait. I miss so much the annual meetings when we all got together.
Me
It's
too. I was thinking about that.
Yeah.
I really miss those times. So, you know,
Yeah.
hopefully we can all get together soon. And
Hopefully.
yeah, thank you all so much. And yeah, I'm gonna just bring it to Kathy one last time to kind of round it out, and we'll see you all soon.
Okay, thank you for the opportunity.
Of course.
Thank
Very much. Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Of course.
Thank you so much, Arthur. And like I always say, we wouldn't be anywhere without our fantastic employees. And I was just listening into everything you guys were saying, and I just love it. We really are a great team environment. There's no drama. We just really are embracing of all different types of people, and just would really love to find other folks that feel the same way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's it.
Absolutely.
All right. Thank you all so much. I think we're gonna Kathy, if you want to stay for just another minute, just to go over some of the, you know, like I said, the not as exciting stuff, you know, for a few minutes, then and then we'll wrap it up. But just to give everyone who's stuck around some more details about the job. But thank you to all of our instructors that came out.
All right, Arthur, do you want us to log off now? Or
Yeah,
stay?
you can head out.
All right.
Okay.
You guys have
Thank
a
you
great
so much.
Thank you
It was
all.
great to see everybody.
good seeing
Thanks
you.
so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks.
Goodbye. Thank you.
See you later.
Have a great day.
You too, Becky and
You
Opal.
too.
All right, Kathy. So, yeah, I really appreciate you sticking around. I'm sure you were happy to hear some of that conversation. That's, I mean, it's the best. Like talking to them, and you know, they're all just really good. I have not really met Tocham in the past. You know, I don't really know him very well. He's a newer instructor, and you know, because of COVID, we haven't had a lot of, you know, company get-togethers. So it was nice to meet him, and it's just like, I knew, even though I didn't really know him that well, having him on here, I just knew that whoever's going to be on here is going to represent the company well. So, you know, it was really only a year in, you know, and Kathy, you're relatively new too. So that's, it's crazy how fast you kind of catch the bug, you know, to for this company. But yeah, Kathy, if you just want to go over some of the requirements and then just finish off with some of the benefits of what we offer, and then we'll wrap it up.
Sounds great. Sounds great. And that's why I wanted to come on before they left, was just to tell them thank you so much. They're so awesome. It's so great to work with them. But yeah, it was fantastic to see them all, and I really appreciate their time. And actually, Tocham was one of my first folks that I interviewed, as a matter of fact.
Oh, wow, really?
Funny.
Okay, so
Yeah.
there you go. All right.
Yeah, it's so funny.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a good way to do it then.
Absolutely. So as far as the role goes, I'll just kind of go over briefly the strict qualifications that we have and then talk a little bit more about it. As far as the role for the driving instructor goes, you need to be at least 21 years old. You need to have had your driver's license for at least 4 years in the state of Connecticut. If you're going to be an instructor in the state of Massachusetts, you would need to have had your license for 2 years in order to be an instructor. You also would need to go through a pre-employment drug screen, which unfortunately does not accommodate for marijuana, as it's a federally mandated role. We go by the DOT, Department of Transportation. So that is, of course, a federal agency. And a couple other things, the role itself has about 5 weeks of paid training. Once you become a driving instructor, your schedule would change a little bit. And of course, we can go into that a little bit more during our interview process, but would love to have folks apply if they feel that they're qualified. You need to be at least 21, of course. And in our careers page, you can see the different qualifications as well if you're not quite sure if you're remembering it right, but you can certainly go on our website and take a peek. We are really excited to bring more people on. We're just growing at such a fantastic rate. And we would love to see more like-minded people like Opal and TJ and Becky. We just can't say enough about our employees.
Amazing. And again, it's been all over the webinar. If you've been watching, careers.thenextstreet.com. Go there. Also, if you just go to thenextstreet.com, the careers thing is one of the top things. So you can go to the page there and see all of the awesome stuff that we offer and a little bit more about the job. So yeah, we are, and again, like this whole thing, we are a growing company. We're not hiring because, it's a revolving door or anything like that. And if these last 3 employees kind of show, I think they showcase that really well. So, we are just growing and it's an exciting time here. So yeah, if you're interested and any of those people today kind of inspired you, then apply. Just see what we're about.
Absolutely. And we're happy to talk about things too with you if you aren't sure, if you're wondering about scheduling, that kind of thing. Hey, we still would love to talk with you and see if it would be a fit. We also have great benefits: medical, dental, and vision, a 401k employer matching program, paid holidays, great compensation. So we've got a lot of great things going. Oh, company contest. Today's the last day of our summer challenge.
Last
company
day
contest,
of summer challenge. I'm excited to see how that went. And yeah, thank you so much, Kathy. And again, they're not here, but thank you to all the instructors, Opal, Becky, and Tocham that came on and just talked today and talked about their experience. So thank you, Kathy. And I'm Arthur. We'll be on. Actually, I'm going to do another webinar in a couple days on Thursday, a new driver webinar. So you can kind of see what the driving process, the actual driver's ed process is in the state of Connecticut. So if you are interested in a job, it might be interesting to kind of check that out and look at what it's like, what the actual license process is, because it might have changed since you were a kid. So thank you, everyone. And yeah, that's going to be it. Thank you, Kathy.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.